All right.
He's a fun one. I like him.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We have plenty to go over today. I just found this out, like, as I was going to bed last night. Don Lemon could be gone.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Don Lemon, of course, we talked about him last week. Do we want to play catch up with the audience, the Don Lemon, Nikki Haley thing?
We should show them what happened.
Here,
yes.
Don Lemon, Nikki Haley. Don Lemon said this, and he had to have a little argument with the gals about it. As he... Let's, who's this creepy looking fuck? This is, I just picked a video from The Hill and this guy came up. I don't like this.
Is he a young preacher or something?
I don't know, but Jesus. Oh my God, he reminds me of somebody from a movie. It's, remember the guy in Clerks?
Yeah.
Where they're having, I think it's the Jizz Mopper story in Clerks when Randall tells him about the Jizz Mopper and the guy's at the counter, he goes, "You've offended me greatly. I don't think I can ever come to this store ever again." And they go, "I'm sorry. Can I give you this?" And you're like, "I don't know if that would help. I'm very upset right now." He looks like that guy from Clerks.
Okay.
But let's watch the... I can't look at this guy's stupid fucking face.
Yeah, I love it.
This is what Don Lemon said. I think this was Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday?
On his CNN morning show.
Why don't you just watch?
Okay,
This whole talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down.
Can he sit gayer?
No, not even women sit like this.
Like, can he sit in a gayer fashion?
No. He looks good, right?
He is the most bitchy out of anyone on that set. Although Poppy Harlow.
Bitchy looking. I wouldn't say bitchy in behavior. These two have... Well, at least this one outdoes him, I think.
By the way, Poppy Harlow doesn't get to talk about, like, age and beauty and everything else. Somebody got a little lazy today with the hair.
Every time I think about putting my hair up, I think someone's going to think I didn't want to be here today.
I look at this and I'm like, you're on a worldwide news platform.
Right.
You can't just throw in a ponytail like you're a meth biker in Sturgis.
She's trying to look younger, though.
I guess she's trying to look all cute and fuckable. Is it working?
Nah.
She's kind of got deflated tits, doesn't she?
They look respectable.
They've seen better days.
Jeez.
I feel like those tits have seen better. This one's definitely gunning for her gig.
Well, she's also a decade younger.
Yeah, like this one, she's trying to be the new fuckable. What's with CNN? Can they not afford tits over there? Are they that broke?
There's some good tits in that suit.
In this, I don't see good tits.
That's because she has a suit on.
Fox has better tits.
Aaron's a tit denier.
Yeah, Fox has better tits. That's for sure.
Okay.
Fox will give you the tits.
I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
Now, that maybe 40s thing, I always pick that out. He forgot that Poppy Harlow's 40.
Right.
And so
because
he went,
she's not over here.
A woman's in her prime in her 20s and 30s, maybe her 40s. And Poppy's like, "Oh, well, thank you for that kindness, gay guy asshole."
And this other chick's feeling great about herself right now.
She's sitting here going, she's not even listening to the conversation. She's sitting here going, "I wonder if I'm going to get a raise when I take Poppy's office. I wonder."
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. It's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
You need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about?
Only one of these two is asking Don any follow-up questions, and it's total projection.
Well, yeah, because she's the only one who is wondering if she's working into these parameters or
All
not.
she's sitting here thinking is, do I have to take Plan B today, or did he get out of there in time? Because that first droplet of cum was really close to my pubis region.
Well, she clearly had sex last night. Her hair's shiny.
Yeah, she's shining and glowing and whatnot, and it's like, maybe a Plan B isn't a bad idea today because, that first droplet of jizz, how do I know that's the first one?
Or the pre-cum.
Before the big load came, there was this little dribble, drip, and then fire hose. I was working the lacrosse team over at, Duke University, and...
Don't go for lacrosse.
Look, she likes the ones where she doesn't know if they're gay or not.
So that's why she's staring at Dawn.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That's a drum. Just say what the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. I'm just saying.
When she punches a gay black guy in the face on TV, that's when a woman's in her prime.
She'll get there. Unless
Haley
he's gone.
should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime. And with
Clearly a woman in her 20s who can laugh about that.
What is this show? Is this on TV?
This was like it's like a morning streaming show on The Hill. It's a political website.
Okay.
People go watch it. You can always tell what age the woman is reacting to that, whether they laugh or whether they go, "Yeah, piece of shit, I hate him." She's in her 20s.
Yes.
Clearly. And he is Rick Astley's kid. I'm not really sure. That guy's troubling. I want him gone.
He is like so mousy and weird.
Yeah, just for my own comfort, I want that guy to be away, like just away from everything.
Just go.
So Don Lemon, so the result of that was Don put this like really groveling apology up. I saw it on Twitter. I don't know where he officially posted it, but he gave this big statement about how it was inappropriate and wrong and blah, blah, blah. And did I mention I'm gay and don't fire me? Well, he's not slated to appear today on CNN this morning, as his future on the show continues to be discussed at the highest levels within the network, according to two people familiar with the matter. I'm guessing their secret sources are Poppy Harlow and the other chick.
Probably. They all had a meeting in the bathroom.
Yeah. Lemon, who was forced to make a groveling apology to CNN staffers on Friday after making offensive remarks about women and aging, had been scheduled to anchor this morning alongside Poppy Harlow and Caitlin Collins. That's her name.
Okay.
But by Sunday afternoon, a new on-air lineup was sent out by CNN management that had the show being anchored by Harlow and Sarah Sidner in New York, with Collins in Poland. So you can see which person they like more. Who do they send to Poland?
Obviously. Yeah. Who's more likable?
Right. There are ongoing conversations about Don's future, one person told The Confider. He is a constant distraction. Well, yeah, because he's all gay and bitchy. All the time.
Yeah.
He's just being gay and bitchy.
I'll stand up for him here, though. He didn't say anything wrong.
He was correct. Like, he didn't say anything that was factually wrong. But it's kind of like when people with really bad autism talk. Like, yeah, what you said was factually incorrect, but what made you think that it was a good idea to start producing honey in a beehive? Like, what made you think that that was a good idea?
Right, I understand that. It's
I get it.
If they were on the topic, though, I don't see how, because they were talking about Nikki Haley and they're talking about ages of politicians and
because
stuff.
You're in the workplace and there's women in it now, and that trumps everything now. You cannot upset women in the workplace. You can upset men all day long. You cannot upset women in the workplace. They will fire you because women don't have the same sense of humor that men do. For decades, centuries even, men could shit on each other, say horrible things at work, and it was fun. Mm-hmm. It was just part of the deal.
Well,
then women came along, and you couldn't even say anything about an ass. You couldn't say anything about age, because men are sensitive about nothing, and women are sensitive about nothing. What I mean by that is men are sensitive to nothing, meaning you can say just about anything. Women are sensitive to so much that they're sensitive about nothing. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many times, you know this, how many times has nothing happened and a woman got offended or upset?
Probably all the time.
All the goddamn time.
Yeah.
You sit there and you say, well, you and I had this. Like, April said something about our day, and I went, okay. Like, I said it in like a weird kind of a voice because it was just, I was being playful.
It sounded funky.
And April goes, oh, what does that mean? I'm like, what? Nothing. Like, I was just saying, okay. Like, it was almost like a takeoff of okie dokie. I was just kind of being playful with my okay.
I think you just said it in like a funky tone. So I'm like, is he like mad about my answer?
But see, that's what I mean. That's why Don Lemon can't talk freely on the news. Mm-hmm. Is because women will do that. Women will get offended by nothing. So even though this conversation was not about Poppy Harlow, because she decided to make it about herself because she's very sensitive about her age, now everyone around her has to pay the price for it. Instead of her realizing maybe these conversations aren't for me, you shouldn't be here, we all have to accommodate the fact that we've all accepted that she has to be there, and we all have to change because of it.
But even if she is like insecure about her age or something, she fit the parameters of in your prime still. Like, he even made sure to go as far as to say, and your 40s and stuff, so his co-host didn't have to feel like, oh, he's shitting all over me and stuff. He went out of his way to make sure, like, no, you're in there. Nikki Haley is not.
You do understand that's part of the offense. She knows he was doing that.
Right. For me, like, if you can't handle something of that nature, like, you can't sit at that desk. I will defend Don Lemon all day and what he said Thursday or Friday. Like, that wasn't inappropriate.
Look,
and now the man might lose his job.
There's how I think things should be, and then there's how I know things to be. And Don Lemon ain't getting his way out of this. Because this is like the third time he's upset the gals.
I know.
This is like the third time the gay guy has upset the gals. And the gals are going to win on this one because the gals never upset the gay guy. And if you upset the gals too much, you got to go. Now, is the show going to suck more? Of course. I don't want to listen to these two talk about anything.
You know what? Nobody's ever going to watch their show without him there.
No. Well, in fairness, I've seen the ratings and stuff. They're not watching him with him on. Like, CNN continues to be more and more of a dumpster fire.
Extra not watch it now.
They will. Yeah, they won't even hate watch it.
They will not hate watch. It'll be gone.
Stevie Lou says, do you guys think that when life gives Don lemons, that he makes Don lemonades?
That had no business being that funny.
When Don Lemon is handed a hairy asshole, he makes Don lemonades. What? No, that's not okay.
Stop being hairy.
That joke stopped in the 80s. That's inappropriate.
You men
I don't
are
like it.
fur bags.
Boom Annis says the world in general is just looking for a reason to be offended. No matter how small the offense, or make up the reason to be offended. I would definitely agree with you there. B. Joggin says, fire him. He's gay anyway. Wait, that's not. That's a lawsuit, my friend. CNN can't afford that right now. What are you talking about?
And you would have been fired from your job long ago.
Oh, just for all the dicks I was sucking in the bathroom.
No.
I mean, my God almighty.
You can't have that many men coming in and out.
No, you can have them coming in.
Hey.
The fuck happened here?
We need a revolving door.
Scarface with $4.99 says if he does get fired, how long before he claims it's because he's black and gay? I was just going to say, do you think Don Lemon files a lawsuit?
Check it out. If he gets fired for that miserable offense, I hope he does do that. Just to cause CNN a headache.
Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with what he said.
No.
Like, what he said was factually correct. But it's one of those things where we live in the world we live in. So it's like, while I know what he said, there's nothing wrong with it. When he said it, I knew he would be in deep trouble.
I understand that too, but what's even worse, in my opinion, is he was having a good conversation. Like, we shouldn't be having politicians that are not, let me rephrase. We should not be having politicians in office that are old grandmas and grandpas now. He was having a good conversation.
Upsetting women is almost against the law at this point. And what I mean by that is, think about the punishment here. Don Lemon is probably going to lose his job.
Yep.
Don Lemon was off Friday. He's off now Monday. Don Lemon said, a woman isn't in her prime in her 50s. That's like looking at a bruised banana and going, oh, this banana's not in the best shape it's ever been in. That's just a fact. I'm sorry. A woman in her 50s is not in her prime.
I've got a soft avocado on the counter, and it's not as good as it once was.
So
okay,
he says that. Think of all of these news people that said shit about COVID that wasn't correct, that turned out to be wrong, that turned out to be misinformation, that turned out to be like, and it hurt people. Like, people took this advice from the CDC and the news and everything else, and then 6 months later, they go back on it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Nobody got punished for that.
Nope.
Nobody got held accountable, and that affected people's lives. Don Lemon said women in their 50s aren't in their prime, and he's going to lose his job. I just want that to sink in with people for a second. You can say things on the news that cause actual substantial harm to people, but you cannot upset a middle-aged woman. That's what I'm saying.
His co-host wasn't even middle-aged yet.
What I'm saying is pretty close. If 80s life expectancy, what's 40?
She's 40. She was a decade off.
So, to me, it tells me, like, you know, the whole people teach you how to treat them thing. Society tells you what the rules are. If Don Lemon's going to lose his job for slightly making a quasi-offensive remark that was also true and apropos to the discussion they were having, but people who have said things that turned out to be incorrect about COVID and it cost people harm, they don't get punished. They just keep cashing checks. Then to me, that tells me that making a woman uncomfortable in the workplace is closer to illegal than hurting people.
You know what else I kind of don't like about this is if Don Lemon does get fired over that comment, Poppy Harlow's going to sit back and not say, you know what, I was kind of being ridiculous. He shouldn't be losing his job for that.
Right.
She'll never say that.
It's just going to happen more.
She'll just let it happen.
Yeah.
And then the next one will come along and the same thing will happen. She'll just think like, oh, I can just get offended and now this guy's going to be out of here.
Right. So, I mean, it's part of that thing about women that I don't like, where we're bad bitches, but also you hurt my feelings. Somebody punished it. Will some man please punish this guy for hurting my feelings? Well, which one is it?
Oh.
Because if you're just like us, for centuries, we busted balls and told inappropriate jokes in the workplace before you got here. So I think it should be up to women to conform to the workplace, not the other way around. Like, if you're going to say we're ready for the workplace, well, this is what the workplace is. It's conversations, it's jokes, it's all kinds of different things. But everybody else had to, I mean, if you're ready for this and you're equal and you're all this stuff, then the whole world around you shouldn't have to bubble wrap and change just for your arrival. You're not the fucking Queen of England.
But don't you understand?
Don Lemon is a queen.
Yeah, he is. Don't you understand, Aaron, that the boss bitch move is that you can just have people fired?
Right.
My feelings were hurt. I think you should fire him.
And then you get to say we're equal. It's like, I'm sorry, you and I are not the same. I would never do the shit you did.
Right. It's like somebody who poisoned someone versus a one-on-one combat.
Precisely.
It's really weird.
Nicholas with $25 says more of an informer than a Negro. Okay. Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. That's very nice of you. Only 150 from knocking it out today. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. Marquis says, I totally agree with Aaron. The workplace shouldn't have to conform to the will of sensitive ass women. Sensitive anything. Like,
I agree. Sensitive anything.
But he's gone. Like, I think Don Lemon, this is either like a week-long suspension and he'll come back.
Which even, that's inappropriate, in my opinion. No suspension for that. How about we get a little thicker skin?
Are we doing a news show where we talk about the news? Or are we not doing a news show where we talk? Because if we're going to talk about the news, we have to be able to upset people.
This is a strange place for me to be in, but I hope that if Don Lemon is fired, that people do bring him on like big shows and shit like that. Like Tucker has him on and shit and talks about this stuff, about how inappropriate that is.
All right, guys. Welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. This is going to make our Fox News audience uncomfortable, but I'm bringing on a gay African-American gentleman. So just prepare yourselves and try to hold your eyeballs into your head.
I'd watch that. I'd watch that broadcast.
Don Lemon. Dude, here's the thing about Don Lemon. He may be wrong about absolutely everything, and he may be a dramatic play actor. But like, he can get people talking with the shitty, dumb things he says.
Yes, he can.
I can't remember a single thing Poppy Harlow's ever said.
No, except for being bitchy and sensitive. You know?
But at any rate.
I'm not a Don Lemon fan, but I'm also not for watching somebody like him get fired for a comment like that.
Rexdart parody account says, we need to have an honest discussion about this issue. Here's exactly what you can and can't say. Exactly.
Give me a chart. Have it like on the teleprompter in front of me. I don't know.
Richard Koski says it had nothing to do with the conversation. She said if you are old as fuck and a politician, they should make sure you don't have dementia. Then he was like, you're busted and can't have kids. That's not how I saw it. What I saw it was she said politicians that age aren't in their prime. And he goes, well, Nikki Haley in your 50s, you're not in your prime. It was kind of an elaborate dodge on his part, but it did have something to do with the conversation. Like I said, he can have a shitty take. You're allowed to have a shitty take. Like, he was trying to spin it so he could attack the Republican.
But even though it was a shitty take, it was vanilla. It was nothing. It wasn't a harmful take. He didn't hurt anyone with that comment except somebody's feelings.
Corey Dinosaur with a great point, too. He goes, it's a morning news show. That show's demo is women in their prime. Of course he's getting fired.
I guess.
He's, Don Lemon is bitter fruit, says John Shamingo. It's very funny. That's a good place to leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's done.
They've
been trying to get rid of him for a long time now. They kicked him off his primetime show. Obviously, there was something in his contract where they'd have to pay him more. He's been doing this morning show for almost a year. So maybe that contract is whittled down enough where they're like, all right, we'll eat the rest of this and just cut this guy loose. Maybe. Do you just suspend him for the length of his contract and make him sit it out and pay him.
That wouldn't be so bad for him, would it? He has time to shop around in case anybody might want him.
Are you saying those people enjoy shopping? You're saying he'll shop for shoes?
Look, he might do it looking like this and all that shit.
That's fun. Like,
I can't imagine sitting like this.
I want to find a Walter Cronkite news broadcast and then transpose it with Don Lemon going, here's what Nikki Haley said, and that's kind of bitchy.
Sorry.
I want to go find Walter Cronkite here. Walter Cronkite. Whatever. I don't give a shit what it is. Here, JFK assassination.
Oh, geez. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Guys, sorry, spoiler alert. JFK lost his head.
And now for
His
the next
music.
30 minutes, as the world...
Oh, they interrupted as the world turns.
For viewers of the CBS soap opera, As the World Turns.
Shut the fuck up.
Back to the soap opera, but not for long. Soon after, Walter Cronkite was back.
So there's...
reporting from the CBS newsroom, complete with...
This is Walter Cronkite at the news desk. So this isn't even like a professional news thing, but he's still sitting there. Hello, everyone, as I put on my serious glasses. Could you imagine if in the 1960s, Don Lemon were like, all right, everyone, we've got some breaking news. Apparently, the president's been shot. This is wild, you guys.
Sorry to bring you this horrific news.
Yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to sashay on the news.
No.
Just an opinion that I have.
Not even women sit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that opinion for a long time. I've just never verbalized it.
You don't think you'll have to.
I don't think you should be sashaying on the news. Yeah, Michael B. Snap. The president's dead, y'all.
I just started doing the bend and snap from Legally Blonde.
What the fuck? You can't sashay on the news.
I think the only
All right, everyone, look. I guess a bunch of Muslims crashed a plane into the World Trade Center. I know. When I heard it, I was like, what the fuck? And then everyone was like, no, seriously, you need to report this. And I'm just like, oh, what are we going to do? This is scary.
Are you so good at that?
Years of practice.
Wow.
I'm an impressionist.
I think the only person who can sit on the news and talk like that is Jennifer Coolidge.
Actually, you know what? Don Lemon can sit on the news, and he can take the news all the way up to the end. He can sit really deep into the news. Don Lemon. You
Poor
see.
Don.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, Kane B. Oh. Breaking news, everyone. Kamala Harris is president. Yes, queen.
Dude, I had to leave a TJ Maxx yesterday because of her.
Yeah, I just love that there's like there should be a loudspeaker just like on the live broadcast. Like, Don, what did we say about sashaying on the news? Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to. They're going to end up like if Don Lemon comes back, they're going to have to put handprints in the desk and just put like a really sticky substance in it.
Like,
puts his like fly
here.
paper and he just puts his hands in it and they just stay on the desk the rest of the show.
This is uncomfortable though, too.
It's a lot more comfortable for the people watching than this is.